Good morning. Thanks for tuning into another daily conversation about situations in everyday life. So let's talk about it. So today here in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a little sunny out, not too dry in the air right now. It's going to go up to about 90, 92 degrees today, so it's going to get a little scorching out there. Thank God I work from home, so I'll be inside in the AC, okay? But what I want to talk about today is kind of like where I'm at. We got about another week before school starts, and these kids have their list. They're coming in here. They're like, I want this. My Amazon cart is just loading up of all kinds of lunch boxes, trinkets, what do you call those, folders and trapper keepers. I don't even think they call them trapper keepers anymore. Lord have mercy. Okay. But anyways, so luckily for me, I have children in each grade cluster. So I have elementary, middle school, high school. So my elementary, I have a girl and a boy. They care about how they look and all of that, but they really care about the things that they're going to have. Like my son, he wants to have his sneakers. He wants to have his jeans that fall over his sneakers. He's just like his father. I don't know. My daughter now, she just wants to be cute. She's just like a little unicorn. She's different, One day she wants her hair done. The next day she wants it flat ironed. The next day she wants her afro. So she's very different, and I love her vibe. She just goes with the flow, right? So my middle schooler now, she is really into what she looks like. Like, it needs to be where she's comfortable. She's already really petite. So she doesn't want to feel uncomfortable if anyone picks on her for her height or whatever have you. She wants to feel confident. So for her, it's like, Ma, I like your taste. Daddy, I like your taste, but this is what I want. She really knows what she wants and how she wants to feel. And it's so adorable. So then I have two high schoolers, one that is her first year in high school and the other one is her second year in high school. So the first one, she kind of had a bummer first year. So this year she's kind of like really ready. She's mentally ready, mentally prepared, and she's mentally prepared about what exactly she wants on her feet as well and on her back. She likes a little name brand here, name brand there. Thank God she's not like everything in her wardrobe needs to be like that. She's more like, I just need a little splash here, a little splash there, a little something to, let them know that I got a couple, little Yeezys on or some New Balances on, or, she's just like, I need something to pop so that I can mix it up and make it, And then my one that's going in ninth grade, she's just like so eclectic. She's just like, I'm going to make whatever I put together my thing. She's that type of person. So with all of these different desires and different things, our budget is pretty tight. And if you're like me, you're making enough. Between me and my fiance, we make enough to, pay our bills and live okay, right? We don't make a extra to where we can do a lot of things that we want. We can probably do it for one child, but with us, you can't do something for one child. You got to do it for all five. So it's like, we want to go to the aquarium. We're on the computer looking at the tickets, and it's like, if we have one child, we could go to the aquarium every week. But with five, you can't. You got to figure some things out. You got to maneuver, So with that being said, with school coming, all activities have been cut between now and when school is about to start, because luckily here in Georgia, our kids go back in the beginning of August. So we have to kind of like decide now, if we ain't got a whole lot of extra, right? What do you do? Like, I wonder if you call like bill collectors and like landlords and find out, do you guys tend to get paid late in the month of August out here? Because I know with me, bills and everything for that week is going to have to wait till the next pay week because I got to make sure my kids have everything to start school. That's just what it is. So, I don't know if I'm the only one in that boat, You can let me know if you guys are kind of in that boat like me. But for me, I got to make it work, right? And make sure my babies have what they need. But it gets hard. It gets hard sometimes because it's like, when can I just be able to do that and it doesn't affect anything else? It's like that's the ultimate for me. It's like I want to finally get to a year where I can send my kids off to school and pay my bills at the same time and not have to take away from a bill money to deal with that, It can get a little jarring because you don't want to be late, especially if you had an emergency before and you were already late. You don't want to be late again, but you have to. You don't have a choice, right? But the great thing about it is, I connect with my sister-in-law who runs an organization called TRCCL, and she gives us all kinds of information about resources that's out there that you can utilize. So for me, we are at the stage where we cannot get a lot of assistance, but we can get other assistances that are out there for the community. So there's a bunch of back to school events going on here in Georgia where if you signed up already, your appointments should be flowing through your emails. So that you can go ahead and pick up some free supplies for your kids. And I'm quite sure that they have those types of things in every state. So look into that. That can save you a lot of money if you have a lot of kids like me. They will give you books, notebooks, pens, crayons, glue sticks, all kinds of things that you need, backpacks for your kids so that you don't have to worry about that and you can focus on the other things that they need. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have, and it helps out sometimes. But like I said, for me, sometimes it's a little confidence damper because you just want to get to the point where you can do it all, without a hiccup. And I believe that the more we focus, the more we strive, is going to get us closer to being able to do those things that we want to do for our kids, our loved ones, our partners, and also for ourselves, I'm like sitting here and I'm like, Lord have mercy. Thank God I have 2 daughters that do hair. I can get my hair done once in a while, but they're so busy, which is great. We want them to be doing well. I can never get an appointment in, so I'm walking around looking like a hot mess. My daughter, the one that rocks her afros, she's like, Mommy, get into it. You better rock that afro today. And I'm like, girl, you making me feel so good right now, but I need my hair done, okay? So shout out to Touched by Ariella and Crafted by E. You need to add me to those books, baby girl. So next thing that I wanted to talk about as we get ready to wrap this up for the day is how are we doing emotionally at this time? How are those families that don't have a dad in the home? How are those families that just lost someone close? How are they coping with this back to school season? Are you in good spirits? Are you ready? Are you enthused about getting ready to send those kiddos off back to school? Do you even want to send them back to school? Some parents are probably dreading sending their kids back with all the scariness going on in the schools these days. And for me, the biggest strength I can give you all as a mom that has 5 going to school, I'm terrified every day. I live in constant anxiety because not only do my little ones have to go out in school where there's a lot of fear in school nowadays, I have older ones that are living life. They're They're in their early 20s, so that's the time where I'm like, every time my phone rings, I'm like, you guys okay? Especially if they're calling me like after hours. What are you calling me for? My daughter's like, Mom, you're such a mom. It's like I'm in constant anxiety worrying about my babies. I don't know if there's other moms out there like that. I'm quite sure there is. A tip that I'm using to comfort myself is understanding that, they're not mine, right? So I can worry and love, but understand that they are protected, just like I'm protected, just like we're all protected, right? What's going to happen is going to happen. There's nothing that we can do to avoid life, right? Life is always going to happen. The key is how we deal with life when it happens. Am I going to let it take me down to the pits? Am I going to use my knowledge and wisdom as my breastplates of armor to get through it, any obstacle that comes my way? And what do I choose? What am I going to choose to do every day? Am I going to choose to be sad? Am I going to choose to be happy? Am I going to choose to push through this valley that I'm in right now? Or am I going to let my mental distractions and my emotional distractions lead the way? That didn't work out good for me. Several situations where I let my emotions lead me. I made haste decisions. I didn't triumph. I needed to be saved out of something, or I just fell and I had to just regroup and start all over, and these things happen. But the beauty is when you're able to acknowledge what it is that happened. When you're able to acknowledge what it is that happened, now the healing process can start. Now you can enter into growth. Now you can begin the journey out of that valley. But the key to being able to do that is you have to acknowledge that you're even in a valley. If you do not acknowledge that, you're not going to be able to enter the healing process or the growth process. You're just going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck in that trauma, in that valley. And dealing with just my thoughts sometimes is a valley, right? Because it's like, when am I ever going to get to the point where I can just, my kids want something, here you go, baby, anything you want. And I had to kind of like sit down and just really meditate on that thought that keeps coming, that thought, that pressure that I keep feeling when I start to think about finances or just my kids' future and things like that. And I have to realize that, what I have is different from someone else, right? I can't be looking at other people and I radii what them have, because if I keep doing that, it's like I'm never giving thanks for what I do have. I'm never being happy for all the gains that I'm receiving. I'm constantly looking outside of what I have for something that I might already have. It just doesn't look the same, right? You may think, oh, I'm not rich because I ain't got the green, but I'm rich in so many other ways. And I just feel like until I start to really be thankful and grateful for what I do have, I'm not going to be able to attract the abundance that I seek, because I'm constantly not being thankful. I'm constantly worrying. I'm constantly, saying what, when, how, what do I need to do? When all you need to do is keep doing, living, enjoying what you have, nurturing what you have, cultivating what you have so that it can continue to grow in abundance. If you keep on looking at it like it's never enough, you're going to deal with it with that stagnant energy. You're not going to deal with it with a nurturing energy so that it can grow into abundance. So the tip for today that I'm giving you all is just be thankful for what we have. Look at it, and it might not be all the glitz and the glamours, but look at the pureness, look at the happiness, look at the comfortability that you may have created in your home for your kids. And if you haven't, start to focus on doing that. And I guarantee you, things will start to flourish in your life in a way that you never knew. So with that being said, just go out in the day today, have a blessed day, stay focused, stay away from all distractions, and be the best version of you.